Well, good evening and welcome to the Elk Grove Unified School District Board of Education meeting. We met in closed session and we voted 7-0 in favor of releasing a temporary employee. Board members voting in the affirmative were Amavisca, Lee, Madison, Singh-Allen, Forcina, Perez, and Cox, and there were no board members voting against the motion. Would like to announce that tonight's meeting is being video recorded and it will be available on the district's YouTube channel. There are blue cards available just outside the boardroom on a table. If you would like to address the board, please complete it, hand it to a staff member that's at a table on my right, and indicate whether you want to address the item on the agenda or not on the agenda. If it is on the agenda, we assume that that is when you would like to address the item. There is also a time for public comment, and after that time, we will not be able to accommodate blue cards. So please get those in if you're going to speak. We start our meetings by recognizing a special person that's been very active in our educational community and a real supporter of our district. And I would like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I'd like to call on Mr. Chet Madison to introduce our volunteer for tonight.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like Michael Lynch to come forward, and Chelsea Bowler Shelton from Valley High School, a principal. Welcome. The Board of Education is pleased to recognize Michael Lynch for his active support of Valley High School. Michael Lynch graduated from Valley High School in 2006 and went on to earn his bachelor's degree in business management from Humboldt State University, where he has also played football. He started in over 30 games, was team captain in his senior year, and received several awards for stellar performance on the field and in the classroom. After college, 2011, Mr. Lynch began his career in politics and public policy as an intern for Assembly Member Wilmer Carter through the Sacramento Semester Program. After completing his internship, he was accepted into a new leadership internship program with the Center for Progressive Leadership in Washington, D.C., where he worked for the Campaign for Youth Justice. After leaving Washington, D.C., he was accepted into the Capitol Fellowship Program in the California State Capitol. As a Capitol Fellow, Mr. Lynch worked in the office of Senator Karen Price as an education policy advisor and a consultant for the Senate Committee on Business, Professions, and Economic Development. Currently, Mr. Lynch is a legislative aide in the California State Assembly for Assembly Member Reggie Jones Sawyer. He is a lead advisor in several policy areas, including education, banking, finance, human services, and economic development. Pretty busy, aren't you? His passions include public policy, politics, and education, but his purpose is to help others, especially young men of color, serve to their purpose. Mr. Lynch is currently pursuing a master's degree in public policy and administration from Sacramento State, where he will graduate this December. Through these experiences, Mr. Lynch developed a vision to give back to the community that once served him. In January 2013, he co-founded and became Chief Executive Officer of Improve Your Tomorrow, a nonprofit college prep program at Valley High School. Improve Your Tomorrow was created to inspire young men of color to break the generational cycle of poverty, incarceration, and low educational attainment. To Improve Your Tomorrow provides weekly tutoring service, college tours, skill builders workshops, mentorship to its participants. Over the past year, 50% of students who participated in Improve Your Tomorrow have increased their GPAs, and all are going on to four-year college bound based on their current AG status. In September, we welcomed 38 ninth grade recruits into the program, and we are looking forward to continued success of the young men at Valley High School, thanks to the vision of commitment of Michael Lynch and the team Improve Your Tomorrow. On a personal note, Mr. Lynch is married to his college sweetheart. Andrea Lynch, and outside of Improve Your Tomorrow, enjoys reading, playing sports, and spending time with his wife. The Board of Education is proud to honor Michael Lynch for his many contributions to Valley High School and the Elk Grove Unified School District. And we thank you for that.
Please place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag, to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. That's
Excuse
quite
me.
a resume. We're very thankful for your work in our district and really appreciate what you've done. Thank you.
Mrs. Chairman,
yeah.
I'd like to say something. I'm very familiar with this young gentleman and his employer, Assemblyman Reggie Sawyer. He does an excellent workshop yearly of young men of color. And I would advise anybody who has the time when they have the next convention at the Assembly that you go there. And also, could you give us a copy of that report that Mr. Reggie Sawyer does for the Young Men of Color report, and all the recommendations he has for high-risk youth throughout California, and the model pilot programs they implement, and they have testified in front of his assembly committees. Excellent.
Very impressive. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very, very thankful. So next on our agenda are our high school student representative reports. We have 3 high schools here tonight, and we will start with Florin High School.
Good evening, President Cox, members of the board, Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. My name is Kirsten Van. I am this year's ASB president at Florin High School.
Good evening. My name is Mari Cruzigu, and I'm this year's ASB Vice President.
Florin High School kicked off the year by celebrating its 25th anniversary with our homecoming parade, dance, and football game. The theme of our homecoming parade was to embrace what we loved about Florin. The different classes took it upon themselves to decorate their float according to what they believed to be the best feature of the school. The senior class float celebrated unity and diversity. The junior class float honored the variety of sports that are offered at Florin. The sophomore float commemorated the plethora of academic classes that are available at Florin, and the freshman float recognized the assortment of clubs that we could join. We all knew that being able to share what we loved and have others be part of our parade would make it even better. In an effort to reach out to the people around us and let them see the greatness of Florin, we invited our neighborhood family and friends, our partner middle school James Rutter, and of course our alumni to remind them that we haven't forgot about them or their history with Florin High. We also invited them to our football game in which nearly 200 people RSVP'd. Each person who RSVP'd received a free cupcake along with a ribbon that had their name on it. All in all, words cannot express how much support and love was given on that day. Following our long-standing homecoming tradition, we held the dance after the game, which was an even bigger success. Our students couldn't stop talking about the dance the following Monday and was excited for the next dance.
In addition to our 25th year anniversary celebration, we also held our annual Powder Puff game in which the seniors and freshmen defeated the juniors and sophomores. The cheerleaders also did an excellent job with their routine with the assistance of Florence Dance Company Masterpiece. Our sports teams have also been doing exceptionally well. The men's soccer team, who were last year's Metro League champions, have diligently worked hard to ensure another great season with the soccer fanatics at Florence cheering them on at every game. The women's volleyball team has also had a great season this year. Seniors got to celebrate their season along with their friends and family at the senior night on October 29, 2014.
Red Ribbon Week was a success. We cannot describe how spirited the school was. We teamed up against drugs by wearing our favorite sports gear, demonstrated that doing drugs is not worth the sweat by wearing sweats, giving drugs the boot by wearing our favorite pair of boots, not allowing drugs to tie us down by wearing a tie or a piece of tie-dye clothing, laying off drugs by wearing our leis or anything that was Hawaiian themed, dressing up as a superhero to fight off drugs, and of course scare off drugs with our costume. Oh yeah, did I mention that our very own principal became Spider-Man for the day and used his superpowers to rescue Florence from any drug usage? It was awesome. Although Red Ribbon Week is over, our goal to discourage students from doing drugs does not end. Our next project focuses on giving back to our community. Although we focus on making sure that our students at Florence High have the best high school experience, it is also important that we help the less fortunate and spread holiday cheer. The school's annual canned food drive started yesterday and ends on the 14th of November. We hope to use this time to encourage students to give back to the community and perform as many good deeds as possible. Our first awards night of the year is on November 6th at 6:00 p.m. We would be honored to have you join us for the evening and see all the amazing academic achievements our students have accomplished this far.
In an effort to provide a great opportunity for mathematicians in our district's middle schools to apply their mathematical skills while also having fun, we hosted our first annual Middle School Mathletes Competition of the year, where approximately 175 middle school students participated. Students competed against each other for the first, second, and third place. Accordingly, the winners were Albiani Middle School, Pinkerton Middle School, and James Rudder Middle School. We will continue this tradition throughout the year, giving middle school students further opportunities to develop their skills and giving those who seek redemption from the first competition another chance.
And as always, don't forget that you know
And I know
that
every day is a great day to be a Panther.
Very excellent report, very enthusiastic, and congratulations on Florence's 25th anniversary. Very fun year for you. Next, we have another school celebrating an anniversary this year, Laguna Creek High School.
Good evening, President Cox, ladies and gentlemen of the board, Interim Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. My name is Noah Madron.
And I'm Braden Trotter. As we march into Term 2, Laguna Creek has kept pace working hard in a variety of areas. Our campus has been busy with both academics and extracurriculars with the excitement of our school's anniversary.
This year marks 20 years of excellence at Laguna Creek, celebrated a few weeks back with our homecoming and alumni game. We would like to thank those of you who came out to walk in the parade and watch the game, and thank Ms. Cox for her 20 years of service. Laguna triumphed over Florin with a 44-6 victory. Our theme for this homecoming paid tribute to popular culture of 1994, with classes representing things like The Lion King and Sonic the Hedgehog. Along with the big game and dance, we held our annual and final bonfire rally. Perhaps it was the increase in over 100 students, but the school this year has been more incredible than ever throughout all this excitement.
Our International Baccalaureate program continues to show success. Last year's students passed their tests overall with a rate of 81%, just above the national average. We are especially pleased that 82% of result candidates received their IB diplomas last year in comparison to 68% nationally. The program is also collaborating with the feeder school, Harriet Eddy, to create a middle years program intended for grades 7 through 10 to prepare students for the rigor of IB. Speaking of difficult tests, we'd like to thank the board for the free PSAT that was administered on the 15th. We know it was very beneficial for so many students.
Laguna Creek continues to stay active in the community. This past This past term, we held our annual 6th grade rally to connect to feeder school students and bring our school community together. Laguna Creek students also encouraged elementary school students to participate in Walk to School Day by visiting campuses and cheering on the future Cardinals. Over the summer, our Green Energy Technology program sent students to Monaco to compete in a solar-powered boat race. GETA also continues to manufacture and send solar suitcases to third world countries to provide much-needed energy and aid. Sports Career Academy students are utilizing their first aid training, as many volunteer at sporting events in case of injury.
As far as athletics, our school is adjusting well to the Metro League. Our girls volleyball team had a fantastic season under new coaching staff with a record of 8-6 in the league. Cross country has also had a great season, and both teams are headed to sections this weekend. Our football team clinched a playoff spot this last Friday with an outstanding victory against McClatchy of 42-0. With the exception of these postseason-bound teams, our fall sports are coming to a close, and the Cardinals look forward to the incoming basketball and wrestling seasons. To finish off athletics, this past Wednesday, we held our annual Powder Puff football game, a great fundraiser for athletics and a chance for many girls to strut their stuff on the field. The seniors and the freshmen had a great comeback victory in overtime.
Some upcoming events we would like to invite you to include the next drama production airing this upcoming week, Good Weird, the result of a girl inheriting a television company and adapting to the good and weird involved. We would also like to invite you to our lip-syncing competition, Creek Rock, on November 21st. Thank you, and we look forward to bringing you updates again soon.
Thank you very much, and several of us were able to attend your 20th anniversary, and that was very exciting, and thanks for your kind words. Next, we have Sheldon High School, home of the Huskies.
Good evening, President Cox, fellow board members, Interim Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. My name is Calgie Atwell, and I'm the ASB President at Sheldon High.
My name is Brian Martin. I'm ASB Vice President.
This year, Sheldon High School traveled all the way to Hollywood to celebrate the Oscar Awards October 5th to 11th for homecoming. We started our wonderful trip through Hollywood with our fall rally. Our outstanding staff used entertaining skits to introduce our nominees for the Oscar Awards, also known as the royalty nominees. In the same week, each class designed and created a float that connected with our Hollywood homecoming themes. Freshmen had the Universal Studios, the sophomores had the Chinese Theater, the juniors had the Hollywood Wax Museum, and last but not least, the seniors had the Hollywood sign. We would like to thank Ms. Cox and Ms. Amavisca for finding time to come judge our floats. The results were, freshmen came in first, seniors came in second, junior came in third, and sophomores came in fourth. The class took a break from float construction on Tuesday night to come support our Lady Huskies that participated in our traditional Powder Puff game. In addition, we had our energetic male cheerleaders on the sidelines cheering them on. On Friday, October 10th, our royalty nominees, class floats, and clubs came together to walk the annual homecoming float, which led into the homecoming post-parade rally. Later on that day, the community came together to support our football team for an intense game against Davis. On Saturday, October 11th, our Huskies ended the homecoming festivities with an all-things Hollywood homecoming dance. To continue, cross country competed with 24 teams in the large school division at Bronco Cross Country Invitational. The varsity boys took third place, led by Joel Gorodano. Varsity girls took fifth place, led by sophomore Lauren Windmiller. Our freshmen and sophomore boys took fifth place and were led by freshman Austin Millick. Overall, JV girls took ninth place and JV boys took eighth place. Last week, our women's volleyball team won against Grant High. We are very proud of all the hard work our fall athletes are putting in men's soccer, cross country, women's golf, women's tennis, women's volleyball, and football. Recently, we have received our top-notch Husky Nation shirts. All students who bought an ASB card received a free Husky Nation shirt. These shirts are what we as Huskies wear to support our players. As we cheer in the stands, we make sure to show our opposing team how loud, proud, and positive the Sea of Huskies is. On October 22nd, we were scheduled to have clubs come out and share different foods with our campus at Food Fair. Unfortunately, due to the changes in the food laws, our food fairs were not able to take place. Even though that was a bit of a downer, we didn't let that stop us from taking part of raising awareness on bullying. On the same day, Sheldon came together once again and showed off their orange and made sure that everyone knew that the pack has their back to support the National Unite Against Bullying Day. The following week, Sheldon's Students Helping Students began the campaign to be drug-free. The Red Ribbon Week consisted of walls plastered with the harmful effects of drug use. We had booths set up during lunches to give students the chance to come out and pledge to be drug-free. We were proud of all the students that realized to stand for nothing is to fall for anything.
Our Biotech Academy brought Blood Source and their mobile donation buses to Sheldon High School for the traditional blood drive on October 28. We had an amazing turnout. Biotech generally holds 2 blood drives per year to give all our eligible students the opportunity to save a life and donate. Sheldon's 11 FFA members, a parent, our 2 FFA advisors traveled to Louisville, Kentucky to attend and compete National FFA Convention from October 28 through November 1st. 3 sophomore Science national finalists represented Annie Vermicultural Project. Students had the opportunity to engage and exhibit from more than 450 corporations, organizations, and colleges at the expo. They heard from many motivational speakers throughout the week and attended leadership and personal growth workshops. With an amazing band like Sheldon's, we are very honored to announce SHS music students have recently been accepted to honor groups that will be performing in November and early December. The Causeway Band Festival is a joint effort with UC Davis and CSU Sacramento, where middle and high school students participate with rehearsals with Dr. Timothy Marr, a guest conductor who is a professor with the St. Olaf College. There will be a concert this Sunday, November 23rd, at the Modavi Center on the campus of UC Davis, where the students will be participating. Another of our outstanding band members, Jazzeep Solon, a violinist who accepted California Orchestra Director Association State Honor Orchestra. He will be performing Saturday, December 6th at the University of Pacific. In upcoming events, Sheldon gets to recognize all our students who stay on top of their studies with Renaissance Barbecue, which takes place this Friday. More than 65% of our student body qualified with a 3.0 GPA or better, or a 0.5 GPA increase.
Also, we would like to invite you all to our upcoming fall show, The Little Shop of Horrors. The show will take place on November 13th, 14th, 15th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd at 7 p.m. in our very own studio theater. We will be having a show at 2 p.m. on the 15th and one at 4 p.m. on the 19th. We hope you all can make it. Our award-winning theater program is sure to impress those who come. On an ending note, we would like to thank you all for your valuable time and hope you have a great rest of the Tuesday evening.
Thank you. That was excellent. There's quite a bit going on at Sheldon High. My goodness. And I would like to recognize the principals from these schools. I've always thought high school principals were superheroes, but I didn't know we really had a Spider-Man on one of them. And that's Don Ross from Florin. And your alter ego here. And then Paula Duncan from Sheldon. And Doug Craig from Laguna Creek High School, doing a fantastic job. And thank you, students. That's just outstanding, all you're accomplishing at your school sites. And keep up the good work. We're so proud of you. And at this time, you can go home and do homework or stay and enjoy the meeting. So, your choice. Next on our agenda is our student expulsion recommendations. If anyone wishes to address the board in closed session, please come forward. Seeing no one, I'll call for a motion to approve the request for student expulsion. Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the request for student expulsions. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion is carried unanimously by all present. Next on our agenda is our LCAP update, and we actually had a special meeting to discuss this, so it is not going to be discussed tonight. We also had community meetings, all 7 of us individually, that discussed the LCAP. And those board member reports, I would like to request to come to our next meeting on your community meetings, if you had anything to add to that when we discuss the LCAP at our next meeting. We do not have a budget update tonight, so I do not have any blue cards from the public at this time for public comment. And we will go right to bargaining units. Are there any bargaining units that wish to speak tonight? Okay, we will go on to the public hearing and action items, consideration and public notice of AFSCME's initial proposal regarding collective bargaining for 2014-15. Mr. Kruger, or Dr. Kruger, excuse me.
Good evening, President Cox, members of the board, Interim Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Heim. I came before you several months ago with proposals from the Elk Grove Unified School District for particular negotiations, and tonight I come before you with 3 different groups' proposals to the Elk Grove Unified School District. I will start out with the Elk Grove Unified School District Governing Board is asked to review the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Local 258, AFSCME, initial proposal to Elk Grove Unified School District for 2014-2015 collective bargaining. It is recommended that after the closure of this public hearing, the board takes action to accept AFSCME's initial proposal.
I'd like to call for a public hearing on their initial proposal to the district. Seeing no one come forward, we'll close the public hearing and call for a motion to approve the proposal. So moved. Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposal, AFSCME's initial proposal. It's hard to say. And I will do a roll call vote on this. Aye. Aye.
Budget.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then you're up for the next 2 items also.
Okay. Also, the Elk Grove Unified School District Governing Board is asked to review the Amalgamated Transit Union, ATU, initial proposal to Elk Grove Unified School District for 2014-2015 collective bargaining. It is recommended that after the closure of the public hearing, the board take action to accept ATU's initial proposal.
Okay, I'd like to call for a public hearing on ATU's initial proposal to the district. Seeing no one come forward, I'll close the public hearing and call for a motion to approve the proposal. Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the proposal, for ATU's initial proposal, and we'll do a roll call vote also on this.
Aye.
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 Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and next item, number 8.
Finally, the Elk Grove Unified School District Governing Board is asked to review the California School Employee Association, CSEA, initial proposal to Elk Grove Unified School District for the 2014-15 collective bargaining. It is recommended that after closure of the public hearing, the board take action to accept CSEA's initial proposal.
Okay, I'd like to open a public hearing on CSEA's initial proposal to the district. Seeing no one come forward, I'll close the public hearing and call for a motion to approve. So moved. Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve CSEA's initial proposal. And a roll call vote, please.
Forcina.
Aye.
Madison.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Dr.
you.
Kruger. And next item is Mr. Pierce on our public hearing and resolution to convey land at C.W. Diller Elementary School to the County of Sacramento for the Wilton Community Center.
Thank you, President Cox, members of the board, Mr. Cerruti and Ms. Heim. It is with great pleasure that I present this item to the board tonight. It has been a number of years in the works, and quite frankly, I'm a little surprised to be here with this. So I'm very happy about that. What I can tell the board and the members of the public tonight, one of the prouder moments for us as a district, it's a true example of working closely with another public entity to provide a service to the community. And so I appreciate the collaborative work that we had alongside the County of Sacramento. But lo and behold, the board and the district are well versed in the new Dillard Elementary School project. It is a project that we have worked on since 2006, has taken a number of renditions and master plan changes and layout changes, And in September of 2012, that work was culminated in the board authorizing that project to proceed and approving the design. While that was all happening, there was also an effort by that community, the Wilton community to be exact, which I'm sure there's some folks in the audience who would say, well, that was happening well before 2006, Mr. Pierce. And it was, but at the same time, as we were proceeding with our project, their sincere effort to bring a community center or a community building to the Wilton community brought them to the table alongside us. And they were interested in perhaps piggybacking with our project, being out-of-the-box thinkers, trying to do anything that we could to do something within our project that would also provide a community center for Wilton. As the board well knows, our mission is to provide education for our children and our students. And so we struggled with providing capital and operational expenses for a community center such as this. We worked very closely with the County of Sacramento, and ultimately the design that we were allowed to proceed with via the board's approval was a design that allowed us to keep a portion of the property and the existing multipurpose room in place, and in so doing would allow the county to operate a community center. So whereas we were struggling with the ability to provide the finances for this, so too was the county. So it was a tough time for all of us financially. The county not only didn't have the money to build a community center, but they had a struggle in trying to provide the operational costs of a community center. So they have been allowed through some property that they had acquired that was in excess of their needs to sell that property and to use those revenues towards the operational expenses of a community center such as this. So long story short, with the completion of the new Dillard Elementary School, we will have a brand new multipurpose room, and we will have our old multipurpose room that will remain on the extreme edges, if you will, of the new property, and that would be allowed to be conveyed to the County of Sacramento as a community center. And so the action that we would be asking the board tonight to consider would be to convey the land, just under a half an acre, as well as the building, the old multipurpose room, to the County of Sacramento. They will take ownership of that and all operational expenses associated with that new Wilton Community Center, should the board approve the resolution before you tonight. So I want to thank a number of people. I want to thank Jeff Letterman. He is the Director of Regional Parks for the County of Sacramento. Don Natoli's office, who we work closely with. The County Board of Supervisors had a meeting today, so they could not be here, but they wished to be here and to express their support. Bill Heineke, who's our Director of Planning, who you know well, worked very hard on this and working with the county and the community. And there's countless members of the community that I would like to thank, but a couple off the top of my head. Jean Rose is in the audience tonight, as well as Don Smith. I would also thank Mr. Forcina. He's been involved with this project. He will continue to be involved. He attends a spaghetti feed there on Saturday night in support of raising additional funds for this project should it come to fruition. So with that, you have a joint use agreement before you tonight, and you have a resolution. I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have, and you would be required to hold a public hearing as well.
Okay, thank you very much. And as you said, this has been a long time coming, and it's always wonderful to see joint use agreements where we've all come together and collaborated, and hopefully the Wilton Community Center will also be really beneficial to our school site too.
Absolutely.
So I would like to, I think we first have comments, and then we'll do the public hearing. And is there anyone that would wish to comment on our board? Okay.
Thank you.
I thought you might.
Yeah, just a quick comment. Yeah, this is an exemplary effort, and everyone who's been involved in the project needs to be proud. For the Wilton community to be able to come together with the County of Sacramento, along with the Elk Grove Unified School District, is really a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to show the benefits derived through collaboration. And it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for the Wilton community to have a home, and it's going to make things a lot easier. with the county being willing to assume the responsibilities for ongoing maintenance. There are no costs to the school district, but a lot of benefit derived as a result of our being partners in that action. So thank you. The documents that you put together, I have to really be complimentary on them because it is comprehensive. The conveyance agreement covers every possible aspect that one might think of, and so that was good work. I thank you. I thank Bill, and looking forward to be able to move forward on the agreement as we would convey the multipurpose room to the county for use as Wilton Community Center, and I'm looking forward to next Saturday night when we will do that in a formal way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other comments in the public hearing? Ms. Amavisca, oh, I want to go this way. Okay, I'll go with Mr. Madison.
Yeah, mine's very quick. It was a long time coming, and the Wilton community is certainly deserving of this. And Rob, thank you for your staff too, of continuing that process we started a while back, so well deserving. Thank you.
I just want to echo the same sentiments that we have been working on this a very, very long time. And I know on the architect committee, we've talked about it over and over and over again. And it's really nice to finally see it come to fruition. And it's just really nice that we're able to do something with the community out there, the Wilton community, and finally see it all come together. So I think it's a great opportunity. It's a win-win for everybody. And I'm really excited to have been able to be a part of it, and look forward to see bigger and better things as we go on. So thank you.
Congratulations, Wilton. Okay, what I would like to see also, and maybe we need to meet with the county, is that they provide senior citizens services. And this is a good model that I've discussed in our discussions prior to these conversations regarding the architects of new schools. I like to see schools that have a multi-purpose, providing more than education, like, for instance, health services to our communities for shots, vaccinations, et cetera, and senior services. We have very good talent out there. I know so because I have gone to Wilton to participate or observe the Wilton History Group do presentations on their community. Excellent workshops they had there and presentations. I learned a lot about Wilton just going and spending the day with them, and I plan to go back. And again, congratulations, and let me know when your opening is. Is this Friday you mentioned, or what?
This Saturday night is actually an awareness dinner and a fundraising dinner for some kind of auxiliary facilities that will be provided in this, should tonight's action take place.
Okay, well, anyway, please let me know because I'm very good at putting on fundraisers, crab fees, whatever. So I'll be there helping you out. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. And are there any more comments from board members for the public hearing? Nothing, you're dittoing. And I would just like those of you from Wilton that are here tonight, do you want to just kind of raise your hand? I'm very pleased to see you here tonight, and thank you so much. It's been a real collaboration, and as Mr. Perez and his staff and working with you, it's been a very creative solution, which is very exciting to see for our community and our school district, and also a model for other joint use agreements that may be in the future. We look forward to working with you, and it sounds like I can close the public hearing. There's nobody else coming forward, and ask for a motion to adopt resolution number 23 that authorizes the superintendent to execute a conveyance agreement, grant deed, joint use agreement, and other documents with the County of Sacramento for the Wilton Community Center.
Yeah, Madam President, I recommend approval of resolution number 23.
I second it.
Second it.
Okay, I will call for a roll call vote on approval of resolution number 23. I'm sorry.
Oh, you going the other way?
Forcina.
Aye.
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 Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, well, it's definitely approved then. Motion is carried. And thank you for coming to our meeting tonight and for all your work on this. And I think working together makes a better facility overall. And thank you, Mr. Pierce. It's
Lots of
been a-
patience, but
Yeah.
we're done. Thank you.
Perseverance, patience, all of the above. Thank you. Next on our agenda is our 2015-16 District Comprehensive High School Course Catalog, Planning Guide, Middle School Course Catalog, and College Career Planning Guide, which came to us on a 2-inch flash drive. I don't know how big those are.
126 pages on that
120,
little
yeah.
flash drive.
Thank
So
you.
good
for
evening,
conserving
President
paper.
Cox, members of the board, Interim Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. The Board of Education is requested to receive the 2015-16 Comprehensive High School Course Catalog and College and Career Planning Guide, the Alternative Education Course Catalog, and the Middle School Course Catalog. I will highlight for you tonight the high school catalog, while Ms. Penna will address the middle school and alternative education catalogs. I will bring this item back to the board and ask you to take action at the November 18th meeting. Revisions to the 2015-16 Comprehensive High School Course Catalog and College Career Planning Guide include the following: the inclusion of our new superintendent, Christopher R. Hoffman, 9 new courses recently adopted by the board, changes to several course prerequisites for honors and advanced placement and international baccalaureate courses that have been updated to encourage the inclusion of more students. The course description section includes career technical education courses that have new subject area content headings. These headings are organized by industry sectors identified by the California Department of Education. And finally, the ROP and Career Academies Pathways section has been renamed to Linked Learning, Career Technical Education, and Career Academies and Pathways. The catalog is available in English as well as Spanish and Hmong for students and their families requiring a translated version. In addition, the Comprehensive High School Course Catalog is available for viewing and downloading on both the Elk Grove Unified School District and individual school websites. For students and families who may not have access to the internet, each of our comprehensive high schools receive hard copies in quantities as requested. Because of the increased popularity of the online catalog, our schools continue to request fewer hard copies each year as more and more students and parents are accessing the catalog online. Ms. Penna will now address the middle school catalog and the alternative education catalog, and then we'll address any questions you have.
Thank you, Mrs. Ewing. The same updates to names will be included in both the middle school catalog as well as in the alternative education course catalog. Some of the major revisions to our middle school course catalog is first and foremost the revision to the mathematics course titles and descriptions to reflect our implementation of the integrated common core state standards mathematics, so that is a new addition. In addition, we have included course titles and descriptions that are specific to English language instruction for English learners. We have also updated, as we do each year, the FAQ, or frequently asked question, section of the middle school course catalog. One of the things that we have done actually at the high school level and the middle school level is to change our message regarding the enrollment in honors and advanced placement courses and also access to GATE. And so we have strongly encouraged parents and students to at least challenge students in one or more honors courses or one or more advanced placement courses. At the alternative ed level, in addition to the updates to names, we actually work very, very closely with our dependent charter school, the Elk Grove Charter School, and we decided to bring them into the fold. And so we actually have included information about the Elk Grove Charter School in the alternative education course catalog. We also have provided different and expanded introductory information regarding the purpose of alternative education, the transfer and placement processes for alternative education, and a general program overview. And just for clarification, when we talk about alternative education, we're talking about not only our 3 continuation schools and now our charter school, but also Las Flores High School, which is our independent study program. So information on all of those programs is available. There is also the very same section which has been updated to reflect our linked learning initiative, and our career technical education opportunities for students is included in the alternative education course catalog. At this time, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, and these are very impressive catalogs. They look like colleges, so it's very, as we expand our career technical and other areas of study. Okay. Yeah, any comments on the course catalog, high school, middle school? Mr. Forcina, did you?
Well, my only comment is, with all the hard work that is done, we have a lot of very lucky students because the variety of courses available is really marvelous. Thank you.
And I just want to comment, it's very pleasing to me, the revision on the AP opportunities for some of the kids in our district, so that was long coming too, and I'm happy to see that. And the CTE as well, that comment.
Is this internal printing job?
I'm sorry?
Internal printing?
Are we printing it inside?
No.
We're contracting this out?
Yes.
Are we using recycled paper from?
Always.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Mr. Forcina about the breadth and depth of the types of offerings for students. And I really always appreciated as a parent, and I know parents that I talk to, the planning guide. And then the introduction in the middle school course catalog that's very user-friendly, parent-friendly on what you should be doing as a parent with middle school support of your students. The one thing in the planning guide, I always look at that kind of with a deeper eye, I guess. We have really been promoting and supporting our service learning opportunities, and I know in the planning guide that you might have it included as far as your academic enrichments and extracurricular, but it also is something that as they get to apply for scholarships and colleges, it also is something that can help them with that. So I don't know if there's a way to highlight service as far as starting at their freshman year. And I know some of our individual sites do a really good job of guiding students along that, and they actually have requirements themselves. So it might be in the individual school sites that they have those. But that was my only comment on what I noticed that might be helpful for parents and students to start thinking about when they're freshmen in high school. But other than that, they're fantastic. The CTE courses are really remarkable. We're just very thankful for for our staff and our employees that have credentials to do all of this, because I know it's very hard to get credentialed teachers in some of these areas. So it's very exciting for our students. And then this will be brought back next time. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next on the agenda is Board Policy 6174, our Education for English Language Learners. And this will be presented by Sonia Lowry. And this, too, is a first reading, correct?
Yes, thank you so much. Good evening, President Cox, Interim Superintendent Cerruti. Excuse me, but that's my first time saying that in public, so that was pretty awesome. And members of the board and Ms. Hine, thank you so much. The Board of Education is requested to receive and provide input to the first reading of the proposed board policy revision to 6174. That's Board Policy 6174, Education for English Learners. A review of the existing board policies showed that our current policy needed to be updated. The necessary changes are suggested to the following board policy in the 6000 instruction series. Any new or replacement language aligns with the California School Boards Association model practices and policies.
Okay, and on this policy, there was the revisions. It was done in 2012, and so the revisions are the part that was highlighted, those couple sentences, and then the reordering of the policy, correct?
Exactly.
Was there any board members that served on this? Or is this just straightforward? It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we essentially just reordered the document to align with how it looks from CSBA.
Right,
so.
right. So you've Any questions on this from board members? No. Okay.
Thank you so much.
I do. So the changes that you made are the underlying sentences in this report
That would be correct. And anything that's aligned through.
and the crossouts? I'm wondering why you didn't add DLAC committees on community members.
On which one? Can you,
On the first page, it has the schools, regarding school members that lead to English fluency, parent, guardians, and community members. You had school plans, site councils, citizens advisory committees, parent involvement. Can we add DLAC committees to this list?
Wouldn't that be parent involvement?
No, DLAC is a different one.
let me just read here.
I think those are referencing
So those are just
other
references?
Yeah.
That's relating to the paragraph that's immediately above.
Right.
That's not saying that we don't have, input or actions from DLAC. It's just really speaking in reference to the paragraph that's listed above.
Right, but I mean, since we do have input from the different committees, shouldn't we add this to our policy?
I think those just mean that you're referencing those policies, correct? It's not that you're listing a list of all the ways, it's you're referencing that where we have that listed somewhere else.
Okay, I mean, but still, I mean, can we clarify well, if you don't want to include it within the code, can we include example of our committees that give input?
Why don't you bring that back to us and see if that would, yeah, because this is our first reading. So you
Right,
can see
correct. The other issue I had was, I think, same page, and that same paragraph that you mentioned, the superintendent or designee may provide an adult literacy training program. Can we have a discussion to change that, maybe instead of may, shall?
I got shall.
No, I'm talking about this
You said the
last.
same page.
Same page, last sentence in that paragraph. It says may, right here.
Oh.
Okay, again, if you'll look at that and bring it back to us, or send us the board communication on those two items and clarify that.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. And I do know we have some folks in the room for item number 21, is that correct? Is that? Okay. We weren't going to accept these after the public comment, is that it? I'll have to hold that. Okay. Is that correct? We have people for item 21, Mr. Steinhauer? Okay. Would you like to bring that forward now? Is that okay? Here. It's School Psychology Awareness Week. The superintendent just informed me that we have some special people in the room.
And thank you, President Cox. Members of the board, President Cox, Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. Next week, November 10th through the 14th, is designated as National School Psychology Awareness Week. And this year's theme is Strive, Grow, Thrive, which highlights the continuum of engagement necessary for children's healthy learning and development. School psychologists are uniquely qualified members of school teams that support students' ability to learn and teachers' ability to teach. They apply expertise in mental health, learning, and behavior to help children and youth succeed academically, socially, behaviorally, and emotionally. As with all school-based professionals, school psychologists are most effective through collaboration with other school staff and parents. School Psychology Awareness Week is part of an ongoing effort to improve collaboration and foster the common elements of a thriving school community in the Elk Grove Unified School District. In recognition of the important role that our school psychologists play in the success of all students, the Board of Education is asked to approve a resolution recognizing November 10th through 14th as National School Psychology Awareness Week. And chosen by her colleagues, school psychologist Maureen Schroeder, serving Mary Tsukamoto Elementary and Harriet Eddy Middle School, will read the resolution.
Good evening, President Cox, members of the board, Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. It's with great pleasure to read aloud our School Psychology Awareness Week resolution, and I respectfully ask for my colleagues to please stand along with me as I read along the resolution. All right. Whereas all children and youth learn best when they are healthy, supported, and receive an education that enables them to thrive, grow, and thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. And whereas Elk Grove Unified School District schools can more effectively ensure that all students are able to learn when they meet the needs of the whole child and provide integrated, multi-tiered supports. And whereas children's mental health is directly linked to their learning and development, and the learning environment provides an optimal context to promote good mental health. And whereas sound psychological principles are integral to instruction and learning, social and emotional development, prevention, early intervention, and school safety, and supporting culturally diverse student populations. And whereas school psychology has over 60 years of well-established, widely recognized, and highly effective practice and standards that are clearly articulated in the National Association of School Psychologists model of comprehensive and integral school psychology services. And whereas school psychologists are specially trained to deliver a continuum of mental health services and academic supports that lowers barriers to teaching and learning. And whereas school psychologists help children to thrive by nurturing their individual strengths across both personal and academic endeavors. And whereas school psychologists are trained to assess students and school-based barriers to learning as well as individual strengths, utilizing data-based decision-making and implement research-driven prevention and intervention strategies, and evaluate outcomes and improve accountability. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the vital role that school psychologists play in the personal and academic development of Elk Grove Unified School District students. Therefore, be it resolved that Elk Grove Unified School Board encourages all districts, students, and staff to join in the observance of School Psychology Awareness Week, November 10th through the 14th, and observance of future School Psychology Awareness Weeks as declared by the National Association of School Psychologists. Thank you.
Thank you, very nicely done, and thank you all for being here tonight. You do play a vital role in our educational system, and we're very appreciative of all you do for our students. Let's give them a round of applause here. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Yes. Okay, I guess we're going to have a picture of the school psychologist. So come on up and we'll do a picture for the Elk Grove citizen. Thank you. Very nice-looking group. Thank you for coming tonight. That makes the resolution more meaningful. We'll go back to the regularly scheduled agenda, and thank you for coming again. Next was a discussion action item on changes to interdistrict transfer process, and Tina Penna and Donna Cherry. If we wish to change any of the information on the process, we can do so tonight, or if we need more information, we can return it to the next meeting. Okay.
Thank you. Good evening, Mrs. Cox, members of the board. For the last time, Interim Superintendent Cerruti and Ms. Hine. Tonight, Ms. Cherry and I are here to ask you to review, and again, based upon this item's designation as a discussion action item, approve if you so choose, revisions that are made to the Sacramento County Interdistrict Transfer Permit Process and Form. Your approval will allow the district to commence use of this form and to implement the process. I'm going to give you a little bit of background as to what's led us here, and then Ms. Cherry is going to take you forward in terms of what the revisions are that are being requested. First of all, just so that we, the members of the audience, understand our terminology, an interdistrict transfer is a transfer of a student that occurs between districts in the county, as opposed to an intra-district transfer, which is a transfer that occurs between schools in our district. So we're talking here about an inter-district process. Back in 2011, I represented the district on a committee that was convened by the Sacramento County Office of Education to develop a common form for use for interdistrict permits throughout the county. There were representatives from each district in Sacramento County at that time, and we worked actually for a number of months to develop the form that has been in use since 2011. And it is a consistent form from district to district, and so there is a consistent process which has made this a lot easier. This past year, that committee was reconvened, and as a result of the reconvening, we have some revisions to bring to you this evening.
Thank you, Ms. Penna. Ms. Penna and I did have the opportunity to work with several other districts in Sacramento County, as well as the Sacramento County Office of Education, to review and revise this form, and not just the form, but also our procedures, because we saw that not all of the districts were following the same procedures. The major changes include additional specific documentation that needs to be provided by the parents for acceptance of the interdistrict transfer. Also, of course, the addition of the grade of transitional kindergarten. So everywhere it used to say kindergarten through 12th grade, now says transitional kindergarten through 12th grade. Also, the language that clarifies that the agreement is not a one-year agreement. The agreement actually specifies that the term is to be completed by the enrolling district in consultation with the receiving district, and that's new, and that the form and the term is not to exceed 5 years or the date the pupil is expected to transition from one school to another, meaning from elementary to middle to high school. We found that many of the local districts were having our parents have to review and have our district approve this form every year. That's not the purpose of the form. The form is to be reviewed when a child leaves one grade span and moves to the next, or 5 years, which would include high school graduation. Those are the major revisions to the form. We would like to respond to any of the questions that you might have, and then ask for approval of the form.
Thank you. And this is, again, you said to align so that all the districts have similar.
The exact same form.
And then on the form, the changes are the highlighted areas as well as the ones that you mentioned.
Exactly.
Are there any questions or comments on this? We can either approve it tonight, bring it back, do Questions?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Apologize for not sending them in before, but they weren't questions that require any preparation on your part. With our interdistrict transfer process, who accepts those requests within our district, and how are decisions made?
Elementary ed and secondary ed actually receive the forms. They review them with the directors in elementary and secondary education, and we keep a binder to keep all of the documents that are approved or disapproved.
If the student is a special needs student, we also collaborate with our special education department.
Okay, that was one of my second question. With respect to special education students, with the legislation such as it is, are we allowed to charge excess costs to the sending districts so that we don't incur additional burden?
Our administrative regulation actually addresses that, but instead of going through it, how about I send you a BC to address specifically, but if that is addressed in our administrative regulations.
Okay, and then the last question, when we have inter-district requests for the CPS ordered placements or SARB, if those are children with presenting problems, are there protections for us so that we can immediately remove a student?
Absolutely. The back of the form shows that if a student has less than 95% attendance, if their GPA is lower than 2.0, if they have SARP issues, or if they have behavioral issues, we may.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Any other questions? Then I could entertain a motion, if you like, to approve it tonight or bring it back.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to make changes to our inter-district transfer process and form. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion is carried. So thank you very much.
Ms.
And-
Cherry, excuse me, on the, could that be a BC, Mr. Fortina's question? Because I'd like to know,
Absolutely, I will.
too, on that special ed.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then I will, Mr. Steinhauer, we will pass the resolution. Mr. Lee noted that we didn't actually do a vote yet, so we'll do that when we get to 21, but I appreciate them being here. Number 13 is our resolution acknowledging that the State Facility Program Bond Authority is exhausted.
Thank you, President Cox, members of the board, Interim Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. I'll probably be a little more candid on this item than I am on most. I think it's fitting that it's item 13. This is a new requirement of the state of California, and quite candidly, it's not one that I'm particularly happy with or that I'm in support of. However, having said that, the board is required to adopt this resolution in order for staff to file any funding applications under the state school facility program. For the life of my career, which dates back probably a lot more years than people realize, this has never been the case. When the state existing bond authority has been exhausted, you are still able to submit applications under the rules of engagement at that point in time, and then you would be a date order of approval of that application, and then when a future state bond was passed, then they would go back and fund those projects. The state, as you well know, recently in these uncertain times has taken a different approach to any number of things, including school facilities. They now are switching gears. The legislature and the governor are changing their mindset. And so what the State Allocation Board, which is mainly made up of members of the legislature and the legislature as a whole, are a little worried about the perception or perceived perception that accepting applications on a continuing basis will give the false hope of the state funding future school facilities. Now, that's a significant statement, and that's the basis for this resolution. The language in the resolution is verbatim from the new school facility program regulations. It's an amendment to the regulations requiring this language, and basically the board's acknowledging two things: that the state has exhausted its facilities funding, and that there really isn't an obligation moving forward. I shouldn't say really, there is no obligation moving forward for the state to fund the projects. That's a significant statement. It's never happened before. What I can tell you, we have been fortunate enough that I have been picked by the Department of Finance, the Ledge Analyst's Office, the Office of Public School Construction, some other state agencies, and some school facility coalitions to work closely with the governor, the Department of Finance, and the Ledge Analyst's Office moving forward on really what is a straw design of an entirely new state facilities program. So just like we had these uncertainties relative to our operational budget, we now have them for the first time since 1976 for school facilities. And so they are saying right now the attitude from administration is they are no longer going to issue school bonds for facilities, and they are no longer going to allow the wall of debt, as you've heard often, be increased for state school facility obligations. So we're working with them right now on what proposed ideas might be. You really have to get out of the box to get out of that way of thinking, but that is where we're at today. So again, the language is not optional. There's a couple of things that I wish I could change in it, but we cannot in order to proceed with funding applications. We're in a catch-22 because if you don't adopt the resolution, we can't continue to submit applications. And if we don't submit applications, the only thing we guarantee is that those projects won't be funded if we're lucky enough to see another statewide bond. So what I also want to say for the first time, you know, there was a proposed state bond on the ballot today. And that was authored by Joan Buchanan and co-authored by a number of other members of the legislature, both Democrat and Republican. It flew through every committee, through both floors, but it was withheld, and it was said to not come forward to the governor's desk, and it did not, and therefore the voters don't get a chance today to vote on a statewide school bond. So it's a very bizarre time for us. It's a very significant time. One amendment that I'm going to ask you tonight to make, the resolution lists 3 school projects. I'm going to ask you to amend it to remove Laguna Ridge as well as Anatolia 2. The reason I say that is the way the resolution is required to word, if you look at item number 1, it says that the bond authority is currently exhausted for the funds being requested for this application, and then it moves on to say that the state of California is not expected nor obligated to provide funding for the project. So I by no means want you to list 2 projects that we're not submitting an application on right now and state that the state of California is not obligated to fund that project. The board is certainly capable of having its own opinion, but as staff, I would tell you, I believe the state of California to have a constitutional obligation to fund public education, and school facilities are an integral part of that. And so I believe there to be an obligation, and that's why I'm somewhat resistant, but we really don't have a choice. So sorry to be that frank, but I think it's important.
Well, I appreciate your honesty and frustration, and I think we all feel very frustrated with the lack of support on funding facilities from a state level. So are there any other questions from Mr. Perez?
I have a question regarding, you mentioned that district staff believe strongly that the state has a constitutional obligation to provide for the education of California school-age children, and that adequate facilities are an internal part of the obligations.
Correct.
When you're saying, the way I interpret that, is there a legal challenge to this?
That is certainly one of the options that is on the horizon, and it's something that a number of coalitions are taking seriously. We're hopeful that it won't get to that point, and it's a little premature to go there already, because we are at least in a position right now to work with the administration and the Department of Finance on proposed remedies to not issuing a statewide bond.
And was it reason that the governor may have not supported this fiscal year? He may have thought that because of the outcomes of the citizens of California of not coming to the polls like tonight, where it might be a better time for this issue be voted on in 2016?
Well, I think the general consensus was that the governor naturally didn't want it to compete with the water bond.
Right, that's the other issue.
The justification, if you will, that was given was he didn't want it to continue to add to the wall of debt,
right,
push the bill down the road. That was the written justification to not seeing it on the ballot.
Yeah, that's my understanding. So therefore, shall we as a group or this consortium of schools and get together, maybe propose that for 2016?
We would certainly like that. It's something that I was lucky enough to be part of a team that was with the Department of Finance a week ago yesterday. And I'll just share with the board, I don't think it was a secret, and we were told very matter-of-factly that issuing future statewide bonds is completely off the table as a discussion point today. But we will continue to push that. Coalition for Adequate School Housing is the group that I work very closely with. We're going to continue to push hard on that. The legislature, generally speaking, supports that notion. It's going to be trying to get it through the administration.
Okay, and the last question, what role as us, as board members, can we help in this process?
Moving forward, there's going to be additional resolutions that I'm going to ask you to support to continue to push that, but just continue to share your opinions with members of the legislature and the governor should that arise. But I'll bring formal documents to you moving forward that we can take and combine with other districts to hopefully push for the support.
Thank you.
Any other questions? We have the opportunity to move this item tonight, if there's a motion. Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve resolution number 24, acknowledging that the state school facility program bond authority is exhausted with the amendment of the two schools that you named. And that was Anatola 2 Elementary School and Laguna Ridge North Elementary.
Thank you. And what that means, just so there's complete clarification, when we're ready to submit those applications, if there's not a funding source at that point in time, you'll have to take this resolution for each of those projects.
So there's a second. And then you had a question?
It really wasn't a question, but a comment, and it's an excellent report, but it's not good news.
Right.
And I think we're very fortunate to have you in our staff that stays on top of this. But I'm sure, I don't have to ask you, you're looking ahead for bonds that perhaps, because it sounds to me like that's the only way we're going to be able to build new schools,
Right.
is we're going to have to raise our own money somehow.
At the local level.
At least in the foreseeable future. So I think that's something everybody has to keep on the back of their minds, that we may have to do that down the road somewhere. So
Yeah,
thank you.
we could have a very long conversation just on this one point, and
Yes.
it's something that's worthy of that conversation, because hamstringing us further is also, at the same time, the legislature and the governor suspended the level 3 impact fees from developers, which was a doubling of that fee absent state funding. So we have a double whammy, literally. So
This is very serious.
Very
and
serious.
it's something that we should not take lightly, and we really need to
Absolutely.
think about our future.
Yep.
Thank you for
Agreed.
bringing this
Thank
to
you.
our attention.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? All members present voted in the affirmative, and thank you for that. And I echo Ms. Amavisca's concern, and yours, I know, and the rest of the board, because we are a growing district. Next item is our memorandum of understanding between our district and Sacramento County Office of Education, and Ms. Trinnell do this presentation.
Good evening. As a part of our work with the Math Generation Grant, one of the requirements is that we partner with outside entities to provide professional development and support of the work that we are doing in our schools. We were able to double the efforts this year in working with the Sacramento County Office of Education and providing professional development to our sites, our teachers, and our administrators. And we request that you approve this memorandum of understanding.
Any questions on this? I know professional development is certainly high on our list, so.
It's really not a question, actually, for the record. I am an employee of the County Office of Education, and previously we've actually had legal counsel take a look at the possibility of conflict, and certainly in this case, this would benefit a department which is not mine and doesn't benefit me directly, so therefore there would not be a conflict of interest, for the record.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. So I'll call for a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agreement with the Sacramento County Office of Education to deliver instructional support to staff. Thank you. Oh, All those in favor?
Aye.
Sorry,
Aye.
I was just moving.
Thank you.
Sorry. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried by all members present. Getting a little too fast there. Next item is Kathy Hamilton, our Sacramento City Unified School District contract approval.
Good evening, board members, Interim Superintendent Cerruti and Ms. Hine. I'm here tonight to present to you actually two back-to-back items, and so I will be making some general comments that relate to both. Regarding contracts with both Sacramento City Unified School District and the Sacramento Employment Training Agency as they pertain to the implementation of the $6 million California Career Pathway Trust Grant, which the district received late last spring. As you know, Elk Grove Unified School District is the fiscal agent for this grant, but it was written under the assumption that we would be implementing this project collaboratively. Specifically in the form of a consortium, the Capital Academies and Pathways, and the three key members of that consortium are Sac City Unified and SETA and Elk Grove Unified. So collaboratively, we are employing 5.5 FTE instructional and curriculum coaches who will support teachers in 35 career academies and pathways in both Sac City and Elk Grove districts. We are employing 5.0 FTE career specialists to provide career awareness, job readiness workshops, and case management for academy and pathway students in both districts. We are employing a work-based learning and higher education, a work-based learning and higher education coordinator, two coordinators, to connect our academy and pathway programs to the resources of regional partners. And we are employing a part-time research analyst for the project. Those employees are going to be hired by all three partners in the CAP consortium. Elk Grove is employing the coaches and the research analyst. SETA is employing the career specialists, and Sac City is employing the work-based learning and higher education coordinators. Additionally, this grant provides copious amounts of release time and intensive professional development over 4 years for the pathway and academy teacher teams in both districts. So I'm here before you tonight to present for your consideration and your action the agreements to formalize the relationship between Elk Grove Unified and Sac City Unified, and then also Elk Grove Unified and SETA, so that we can embark on this work. And I will take questions if you have any.
Okay, thank you. I know we've been kept up to date on this particular grant application and all the work that went into it with the different school districts and SETA, and I just really applaud your work on this. It was a very competitive grant, and we were definitely one of the contenders because of all the good work that we've done in the district in this area and hope to keep doing. So I'll entertain any questions from the board on this. Nice job. Okay.
Okay. Kathy, you've made mention before of one of the intents of the grant, and it's one that I think it's important to reinforce with everyone, that a part of this grant is the sustainability piece of this, and which would require this board to look at a funding model in a couple of years down the road when the grant's exhausted, correct?
This is a 4-year grant. The intent of the 4-year grant is it's essentially seed money to develop both internal district and regional networks of support that will help sustain the work that support our grants, our academies and our pathways, but then there is the expectation in the grant that districts will be able to sustain the level of work that is started through the grant after the grant funding disappears.
Yeah, and I just would like to just take the opportunity to put on the table the fact that this is not only good work, it's critical work, but as we move forward, it has to take its place in good budget planning. It can't come to the table as a standalone item. It has to come to the table as part of a budget plan because of all the far-reaching aspects of the program. And I know there'll be support, but that's a really critical piece. So it's just important for me to have on the table that we're not just talking about the grant, we're talking about beyond the grant also.
That's
because
right.
by accepting the grant, we say this is going to be an integral part of our program. Thank you.
Very good comment about sustainability. It's always a challenge, but it should be part of the work as we go forward. We can now. There's two contracts, right? One with Sac City and one with SETA. So first item will be to call for a motion to approve the contract with Sac City Unified School District. Is there a motion? So moved. Second?
Second.
And it's moved and seconded to approve the contract with Sacramento City Unified School District. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? And the motion is carried by all members present. And then the second one, you've already talked about it, so we'll just might as well go ahead with it, is item 16 is a SETA contract, which is very similar in the process, but it's definitely different allocations of funds for different things. So, I call for a motion on that.
Move approval.
It's been moved to approve and seconded the contract with the Sacramento Employment and Training Agency. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion is carried by all present. Thank you so much.
Okay, and I will be back at the next meeting with 2 more agreements with 2 more partners.
Oh, great.
So we're
Yeah.
chipping away at this.
Moving
and
forward.
That's
And
right.
this is very exciting.
Okay.
Very, very
Thank you.
proud of all your work. And then we have Anna Trunell again for the next 2 items with the memorandum of understanding between our district and the Cable Consortium for item 17.
Good evening, President Cox, members of the board, Interim Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. Sorry for not greeting you before. Charge it to my head and not my heart. I come before you tonight with a request to approve this memorandum of understanding with the Sacramento Educational Cable Consortium. We are a partner through the Math Generation Grant. They have been doing outstanding work with us in documenting our work with our teachers and in our classrooms through training and site visitation. So far, we have about 11 YouTube videos, and we have 4 more to come so that others can learn. It is a part of our grant that we share what we're doing with people outside of our district, and this is one of the ways in which we're doing that. So we respectfully request the approval.
Thank you. Another exciting program. We're going to have our own Khan Academy here, huh? So, any questions from the board on this contract with the?
Yes, a comment also.
Okay.
I watch these program very much. I like it. Excellent program. But the only issue I have is the sound quality. Now and then, the sound quality needs to be improved on that issue, but excellent program.
Thank you.
And moved and seconded to approve the contract for the memorandum of understanding between Elk Grove Unified and the Sacramento Educational Cable Consortium.
One more last comment on that issue. And I'm willing to give you more money for that mics, whatever it is. That's, but.
Yeah.
We'll think of something.
I think I'll call for a vote on this. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion is carried by all board members present. And then item 18 is the Board of Request for Proposal and Approval Contract for Integrative Technical Solutions for Common Core and English Language Arts.
Yes, thank you, and good evening once again. We do respectfully request the approval of this contract with the Sync Solution system. When we were looking and we decided that we would not adopt a K-6 ELA ELD curriculum at this time, we began searching for other support systems and other resources that would assist our teachers and our students through their learning process until we were able to adopt a new program. The Sync Solution system should be considered a bridge that provides support to our teachers and our classrooms to repurpose our currently adopted textbooks until we are able to adopt a new program. We have engaged EGEA representation, our classroom teachers, site administrators, and our instructional coaches in vetting through the process, as well as you're seeing before you tonight, an RFP process. We feel confident in the system, and we ask for your approval.
And any questions on this? And I'll call for a motion to approve the contract. It's been moved and seconded to approve the request for proposal for integrative technical solutions. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried by all board members present. Thank you again for your work on this.
Thank you.
A lot of things going on in your department. We have some recognitions tonight, and for 19 and 20 items. I think we have some people here for item 20. Item 19 is Anna Trinell again, Seek American Appreciation and Awareness. I guess you're the next two items.
Thank you, and I will call Sandra Lowry forward to assist with the resolution for the Native American piece, if that's okay. Thank you. So I come before you tonight to request a resolution that designates November 2014 as the Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month. This resolution recognizes and acknowledges the significant contributions made by Californians of Sikh heritage to the state and affords the opportunity for its students to understand, recognize, and appreciate the rich history and shared principles of Sikh Americans. The California Department of Education has designated the month of November 2014 as California Sikh American Awareness and Appreciation Month. In doing so, they note that this observance permits the society at large and the schools in particular to celebrate the achievements of Sikh Americans and also to re-examine society's role in preserving the civil rights of all of its citizens.
Thank you very much.
Can I say a few things?
I would appreciate that. Thank you. I was going to ask.
As a proud Sikh American, I applaud our district for recognizing all of the wonderful diversity in our community. So I thank you, Mr. Cerruti, for bringing this forward. And I know I've shared some sort of factoids with Tina and Donna and Mark and Anna, and I think and Dr. Fazia as well. So I just really want to, again, thank everyone for being so inclusive. And I'm looking forward to the day where all school districts has such recognition, because we are very active members in our greater society. So thank you again for the recognition on behalf of my Sikh community.
Thank you, Ms. Singh Allen. Mr. Lee?
I'll move it.
It's been moved and seconded to recognize November 2014 as Sikh American Appreciation Awareness Month, resolution number 25. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion is carried by all board members present. Thank you so much. And then I guess we have some special guests in the audience tonight for the next resolution on Native American Month, and Sandra Lowry will do the presentation.
Thank you. Once again, good evening, President Cox, Interim Superintendent Cerruti, board members, and Ms. Hine. I come before you tonight to request that the board adopt a resolution that designates November 2014 as Native American Month. President George Bush in 2002 proclaimed November to be National American Heritage Month. Throughout the year, as noted in the resolution, the contributions of Native Americans are presented in our regular curriculum throughout our schools. However, this special focus for 1 month serves as a reminder of the combined contributions of this group and the heritage of its people. Tonight, we have represented with us as special guests Nelson Chasky, our Indian Education Program Educator, Rita Chasky. The lovely Rita Chasky is Nelson's wife, and she's our go-to girl in our department. Even Hunt is a student representative from Franklin High School in our Indian Education Program. Another student representative in our Indian Education Program from Helen Carr Costello is Derek Begay. A very active parent in our Indian Education Program is Lisa Begay. And then another parent that's also serves on our parent committee of Indian Education is Matthew Begay. And I'll ask that they come forward at this time.
While they come forward, can I call for a motion to adopt the resolution?
Can I-
I
I'll
don't
second
forget
it.
this time.
Comment?
Yes, it's been moved and seconded, and there's discussion.
Yes, thank you. This is a group of people that I am just tremendously proud of. Our Native American parent group, the students, the community members, attend those meetings in good number. They believe in their culture, they believe in their customs, they believe in their language, they believe in the maintenance of their entire culture. And one of the things that is troubling at times is that because their numbers are not as large as other numbers, their voices are not necessarily heard as they need to be heard. And as we do planning in the future, we have the opportunity to look at the contributions that are made and properly fund the support for their programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we'd like a photo. Did you have some comments you wanted to make? Anyone?
I started in this program a little less than a year ago, and I really, I'm new to the United States. I'm from Canada. A lot of what I did back in Canada in the last 20 years had to do with teaching the culture to our children there. So when I came here and I had the opportunity to do the same thing here, you know, I realized that sometimes we lack that recognition in the community. I realized that by doing presentations to grade 3s, and they didn't realize that there were Native Americans in Sacramento. So by doing those presentations and having that cultural background that was given to me by my grandmother and my parents and the community, I was able to share that with them in a kind way. And I'm always grateful for the support that I get from the board. I do have some of the board members that do come to my cultural workshops, and if you know, I recognize them. They come to our meetings, you know, and I always thank them for that, because for us sometimes being so diverse and sometimes not looking native, that sometimes we're invisible people. So to have this honor bestowed on us is a great thing. Thank you.
For being here tonight, and we'll have a photo opportunity here with our Elk Grove citizen and our Tori Johnson from our communications. Well, the pictures always interrupt me. Yes, we are going to vote this time. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Motion is carried unanimously by all present. And while we're doing that, we can do item 21 that we already presented. So call for.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to approve School Psychologist Awareness Week, resolution number 27. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Motion is carried. Mr. Steinhauer, if he's still here. And thank you all for coming tonight. We really appreciate your contributions to our district, and I think many of us echo Mr. Forcina's comments, so thank you again. Our next item is 22, Developer Fee Annual Report. Mr. Fagan.
Good evening, President Cox, members of the board, Superintendent Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. I'm back again tonight with the annual developer fee report. Government code requires that a report of our developer fees of expenditures and income be prepared each year. I reviewed it with the board at the last meeting on October 7th. So I've had no comments on it since that time, so I'm here tonight to ask the board to approve the 2013-14 developer fee revenue and expenditures report.
All right, the second reading, and I can call for a motion to approve the report. It's been moved and seconded to approve the annual report for 2014 developer fee expenditures. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion is carried unanimously by all present. Under our board member and superintendent reports, I just wanted to ask the board members, the community meetings that we had, there is some information that was handed out to the board through a board communication on summarizing that. But I was thinking we might postpone that discussion until the next meeting. So I know. So we'll have that because we do have LCAP at our next meeting, I believe. So we can, and part of most of our, or half of our discussion at that was on LCAP. Other half was on Common Core. Are there any other board members who wish to report, or the superintendent? Committee reports. Mr. Madison?
I don't have a report. I just want to comment to the public. I was at Valley High School week ago. I can't keep track of time, but they had their AVID program, and I just thought it was just wonderful to see over 60 kids and parents was at an AVID get-together where they had food and the parents were there. It was just a wonderful thing. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you. Good job, and Tina was there as well, Ms. Pena.
Perhaps just very briefly, and that is given this is the last time that I'll be sitting in this position, I do want to say that I'm extremely appreciative and humbled by the opportunity to serve in the role. It's certainly, even though in the end it'll be about a 2-month period, it certainly has given me a deeper appreciation and respect for what the superintendent does. And just to very quickly acknowledge a few folks, and that is, we were able to do this without backfilling my position, and I'm not taking any additional credit for that, but the only way that we were able to do that is because of the quality of people that I have the privilege of working with and learning from every day in education services. And so I'll be quick, but Christine Hakito, Bill Tolstrup, Doug Phillips, Anna Trinnell, Geraldine Ewing, Lisa Dornback, Sonja Lowry, and Sue Larson are key folks. And of course, there's many others, but those are the folks I work with directly each and every day. And they're incredible educators and incredible professionals. And the other reason that this works is because the folks that I'll be joining at the next board meeting down in the, with cabinet members, there is no better cabinet anywhere, and I mean anywhere, in terms of the folks that do the work every day. And I learn from them each and every day. They're incredible people. And then the guidance that you've provided, in particular, Ms. Cox, because the superintendent works so closely with the board president. And so I do sincerely thank each and every one of you. And last, but definitely not least, I couldn't have done this, Arlene, if you weren't holding my hand the entire time. So thank you so much to all of you. It's been a privilege serving.
Well, you have been an honor to work with. And I think the only reason that you've not had to backfill is because I don't think you've slept for 2 months. So I think it's definitely not something that's sustainable to be doing both of the things that you're doing. And we just appreciate all your efforts, but also your spirit and your enthusiasm and your ability to get things done so quickly. And just it's been a real honor to work with you as board president. And I know you know, we've had quite a few conversations, so appreciate all of that, and it's always a pleasure. So we'll continue to keep moving forward, and thank you for that. I did get a blue card from Mary, but it was after the fact when I got it, so I don't know. This is a second, we will have another chance to discuss this, or you can send comments. Did you? I gave it before you. I got it, I guess. Well, did you want to say something? Okay. We were trying to get them collected before public comment, I know, so. Yeah. No, this is.
Thank you, President Cox. Our board, interim, I guess for the last time, Cerruti, and Ms. Hine. I'm speaking on item number 11. I just want to make sure that the board takes careful consideration when you review how you are going to look at board policy. As the intent is to ensure quality education for all our students, especially those who are in the lower impact of family income, and also those students who are also at the same time are bilingual students. I'm looking in particularly at Ed Code 54000. And the intent is, again, to ensure quality education and opportunity for all children in the public schools. And to have that deleted, I just want you to have a reconsideration, make sure that you thoroughly go through that, because these, again, are our families that probably need the most help for their children's success in school and for their personal development. It's the quality of education that we should be providing for all our students. It's an umbrella in this code that is supposed to be looking also at funds and services and how we do provide them in an educational realm. So please, I'm asking you to go and take a look at that. And at 4320, the determination of the funding and the support system of all those programs. We're most interested, as you know, I've been an advocate for our bilingual education for quite a while, but we're most interested in maintaining the equal rights and civil rights of our curriculum as they relate to our families and our children. Thank you.
Okay, and Sandra Lowry, did you get that? So if that's any clarification is needed on that other board communication on this, you can get that to us. Mr. Madison, I'll read the consent agenda.
Consent agenda is as follows: 23, approval of minutes; 24, personnel actions; 25, variable term waivers; 26, certification of administrators' competence to evaluate; 27, resolution regarding board members' absence; 28, approval of purchase order history; 29, warrant register approval; 30, disposal of obsolete surplus property; 32, ratification of contracts; 33, ratification of non-public school, non-public agencies contracts; 34, approval to enter into a purchase agreement with 5 new Bluebird wheelchair buses; 35, Williams Acts quarterly report notification; 36, out-of-state field trips approval; 37, Franklin Elementary School portables 2014 relocatable buildings installation change order number 3; 38, Franklin Elementary School portables 2014 relocatable buildings installation acceptance and notice of completion. And with that, I'll move the consent agenda as read.
It's been moved and seconded. I wasn't sure I heard item 31, but if
31?
Yeah, the acceptance of gifts, but I'm
Whoops.
sure you meant to include it, correct? Or is it
see.
not on mine?
It's
It's
not-
not on that one?
It's not on yours.
Oh, no wonder. Okay, so we do have 31.
Okay,
We
yeah.
did- Yeah.
Item 31,
Wasn't
acceptance
yours.
of gifts. It wasn't on the master one. Okay.
You're right. You were correct.
Okay.
And so we'll just add that one onto the consent agenda.
I caught that.
All those, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yep. Any opposed? All opposed. And with that, the motion is carried by all members present. No items removed, and we do have an item from the floor, correct, Mr. Virginia? Or
Items from the floor.
for future agenda? No?
Do I have it?
Excuse me.
What you have?
I didn't realize I was going to make mention of that.
Did you want to do it now
Okay,
or
I can
next
do it
meeting?
now.
It doesn't,
It'll be quick.
okay.
It seems like months ago that we gave an update with respect to board budget policy. Mr. Fagan and his staff and I have been working on the board budget policy. Today, Shannon and Rich and I pretty much finished work on the revisions. Those revisions will be going to Cabinet. On the 18th, the revised document, or excuse me, on the 18th, we'll be bringing a request to the board to send the document to the Finance Committee for review. So if you have any questions between now and then, we're both available, but that will be brought forth so that we can get it on the Finance Committee agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other items? With that, I'll adjourn the meeting. And